What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some early game weapons that are pretty damn good in Warframe. I'm going to start off with the Angstrom. I find this weapon is able to hit some pretty gross numbers for early game and clear some pretty high level enemies, and pretty good in a group too. You can see, even just looking at its base numbers, 600 is a pretty huge number. Base damage, and the AoE is also really good. The only downside of this weapon is really high reload speed, and its fire rate may look fast, but it really isn't, since it charges up and fires its bolts individually. We're also going to show off with the Type Beta. This is surprisingly one of the few weapons you can get early game that has 20% crit chance, which is surprisingly hard to find, because we go over to other like staple early game weapons like the Cronus, 6% crit chance. We can go look at the bow if we want to look at another like polearm staff. We're looking at 12.5% crit chance. Like, what else we got for early game? Amphis, 13% crit chance on Lucky. Orthos, 6% crit chance. Like, Tonbo? Nope, 5% crit chance. It's actually so unfortunate. I mean, we've Guandao right here. This wouldn't be a bad weapon to grab early game either. I wish Castle War is pretty good. Never mind, I just straight lied to you. Well, it's 202. I mean, this looks like a straight upgrade over it, which, not a bad thing to get. Although, it looks like it's locked behind a clan. But, you can pretty much just build this right out the gate, to be honest, considering this just takes the kunai and bow, which you can grab right out of the tutorial. Boltor, I think this is the best early game gun. You'll eventually swap it into like Tigress. Not bad at all as you master rank up a little bit. Also, you're probably wondering why I'm on a newer account. And I just wanted to understand what new players like had in terms of like credit amounts, endo amounts, so that I can recommend these builds to actually use. Speaking of builds, we're gonna get right into them. As we can see, I find this Angstrom build to hit like 6k pretty easily. Super nice. Since it's blast, you can fire into a horde. Fantastic. Type it out. Right here we can see it's viral. Of course, we love viral in this house. And this mod right here, this is the only semi-difficult mod to get. You get on Deimos at Mother inside of our bounties. You'll see it there when it's in rotation. This mod is so disgusting, and you'll be using it for the rest of the game. Definitely worth the farm. You'll also be wanting to farm Deimos anyways, because that's where you get a lot of important resources and power spikes in the game. I also think that, like, just why not? Progging is super important. But this thing is pretty easily able to take care of Xmas even at level 30 to 40 without armor stripping or priming or anything weird like that. As you can see from my Voltor, this thing, I will admit, has been struggling a little bit, but this is the best primary we got. And it's kind of unfortunate. We don't get a better primary for a long time. If you really wanted to, you could farm out Komei's mission and get the Higasa. It's pretty good. It has its alt fire, which does some not even pretty good, really good damage, but it falls off really hard as you get later into the game. Soma's pretty good, but this is MR6, and I want to be looking at MR5 and below weapons. As for secondaries, we got Angstrom, Atomos. I've actually found Atomos to be really good. It has a really late game like buff that happens to it, to put it in like simple terms, but we don't gotta worry about that. Super good weapon. I find this to easily just clear out like mini hordes of enemies, and it's one of the few weapons early game with AoE, which is really nice. Angstrom also has the same thing going for it. We don't really get many good alternative weapons other than these two for secondaries, at least. Like, Nucor is alright, but legit, it doesn't matter, because you can get the Kuva Nucor at this master rank. If you're really rushing through the story, you can do a Lich and get used to the Kuva Nucor, but that's something else entirely we don't gotta worry about. For melees, this heat sword, I found this thing to carry me through the star chart in my first ever playthrough. Really good weapon, good status chance, good high base damage, fantastic weapon. We also have Glaive. Glaive is pretty good. It's force proc slash, I believe it's force proc, and it's amazing. Does so much damage. I don't know if I can look at it, but the Zorus, you get it from, I think it's Deadlock Protocol. Also fantastic weapon. Force proc electric, infinite combo, counter. Super strong. Definitely worth it. Don't grab the Fragor. Absolute waste of time unless you really like heavy attacks. And even then it's like, it's not worth it, man. Like, if you are interested, it is definitely worth doing Duviri and farming out the Edun, or any of the Duviri weapons really. All fantastic weapons. Zero downsides whatsoever. I would recommend grabbing a Firax, not because it's good, but because later on you'll get a mod where this thing just works as a stat stick for secondary weapons. Myers decent, but it also gets a late game upgrade that just outright replaces it, and it's also like, it has really high status chance, but honestly, I don't see it making use of it for what content you'll be running that the heat sword can't already do. Just better, not even better, just for like the time investment. If you like big heavy swords, Galatine's not a bad idea. Look at that, it's beautiful heavy attack damage. Unfortunately, this has more, but Galatine has way more aura than Fragor. Magistar is also really good for heavy attacking. Honestly, that looks to be about it. But yeah, of course, so once again, first grabs like Boltor, Karak's pretty decent. Build the Soma as soon as you can, and then grab Tigris as you rank up. For secondaries, Angstrom, Atomos. These are two really good weapons that'll help you through your star chart and melt through enemies. And then you'll get like dual Tox assist as you rank up and whatnot. And then for melees, Heat Sword can easily carry you. Type It Out can easily carry you. If you do the War Within, you can get the Broken Scepter. That quest, fantastic. Zor's fantastic. It's really easy to make melee weapons work because of their base damages being so high and the mods you've available to them. And this just skyrockets them to 10 times beyond. And don't neglect the Parazon like I've been. Of course, the frame you're playing matters a lot too. Like, if you've got Excalibur, he's really nice. Volt's really good. All three of the starter frames do something for your weapons. So make sure you use their synergies with them. I'd recommend grabbing Vauban just because his rework just went live. You can use his passive Bane or his Overdriver Bane. Both really nice. He armor strips enemies, which is just damage vulnerability. In a really, really simple way of putting it. Fantastic. Well, yeah, I appreciate you for watching, and have a good day.